Good evening. We thank God so much for giving us another day. This is Empower, a program that focuses on people and workplace. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. Welcome. Last week, we focused on the employer and how they can get the right people on board. So today we focus on something different. After we get these people, attract them. How does the interview process go? So welcome. Together with me is Anthony Ndiema, a media personality, and Tabitha Kibe, a HR practitioner. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tabitha, we've advertised online, social media. We've gotten the right of the people who have applied. So how do I go about this interview process as an employer?
Thank you. The first thing is once you have received your applications, you have shortlisted, and you have come up with a number of people that you need to see. So you call them up for interview. One thing you must do is you must give them enough notice. When you're calling them for interview, you must give them enough notice, say 3 days, to allow them to find time to avail themselves for the interview.
Maybe before you go on, shortlisting, I've had it for the first time as a business owner. So what is that?
So you have to go through the 50 applications together with your team of the people that have applied, or the so many applications. You have set, you come up with the number of people that you feel that meet the minimum requirements. Then you want to meet them in person. Yeah.
So that is shortlisting.
That is what we call shortlisting.
I need to have what is the requirements of the job. I look at the CVs, the applications. Who meets the requirements? Those are the people that I'll pick in my shortlist.
Yes.
We called for interview. After that, I call them. You say we call them 2-3 days before, or even 7 days before.
Yeah, you need to give them adequate notice so that they also find time to avail themselves for the interview.
How do you call them? Is it through phone, email, or?
You will find that in their CV they have indicated their phone numbers. They will have email addresses. So whichever means you choose, it is okay. The bottom line is make sure there is communication.
Yes.
Communication is you have called the person and they have confirmed that yes, we are able to come. Is it through email?
Yes.
Is it through a message? Is it through a telephone call? Yeah.
Good. Now, Anthony.
Yes.
I know you've participated in many interviews. So how you've called them, they have come.
Yeah.
You're the business person or the employer or the manager within the business.
Right.
So how do you go about this interview?
So I think, and we've had this conversation with Tabitha, just off camera. The agenda of having this person is to know who they are.
Yes.
Is to understand what beyond their skills, because they've written all those things, but you want to confirm.
Yes.
Are those things right? But beyond that, what is the unsaid, the unwritten that you want to pick from their body language to other things?
Yes.
So the very first thing, of course, as a panel, you need to agree that this is what we are looking out for.
Yes.
And one of those things is to make sure that you have a scorecard. A scorecard is you're looking at, and different people set it differently.
Yes.
You're checking academic qualification, it could have a certain percentage out of the 100. It could be, the skill, a certain percentage.
Yes.
Even outlook for some professions, the way they look is everything. So you have to judge that as well.
Yes.
The attitude, how they respond, articulation and so on. So from this other side, so here they are, they come.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know this better.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is very traditional. Usually when someone walks in, they're either told to sit down. So I'm told that's also one of the ways of seeing.
Yes.
Do they sit down by themselves? How do they pull the chair? And so on. So some of the things I think you get to look at how what is their demeanor, even as they come in. Do they allow you to share with them? So when they sit down, now you get to start the engagement. And I believe the very first process of this engagement is to know who they are. So you give them an opportunity to tell the panel who exactly they are, describing themselves. That is an opportunity that can either go south or go right.
Yes.
Yeah. Then, of course, after that, I think each panelist then can engage separately. There are those who are very skilled in the technical aspect. The HR person might not know the detail of the skill.
Yes.
But now the technical person will ask some of those questions. And you know, there's a manager who can ask about leadership and leading people and teamwork and so on and so forth. So idea, generally.
Yes. And you bring up this aspect of composition of the panel.
Right.
Because I cannot take someone, I can't interview someone as HR and ignore the technical person because they understand the job clearly.
True.
I may look at the CV and see this person fits that. But when this person comes in, who is the technical person, in line with that person,
Right.
then they're able to pick what I may not be able to pick. And also the other aspect of having other people. Because what you see, your eye sees is what is different from what Abida sees, is different from what I see. And that is why we encourage people at least not to have an interview when you're just alone, unless it's a house person, a house manager that I want to interview. And if possible, can engage another lady, we just have a conversation. Because that one makes us understand or even be able to grasp and get what is required.
That's right.
Now, my question comes in. Due to the changes in the world, and the world moving, even through the COVID-19 and such, we've changed the way we are doing interviews, and we've moved to do them virtual. So how do we pick these aspects that we pick on one-on-one, so that we don't lose that aspect? Because it's possible to lose it. Tabitha?
Well, I think there are some things you're still able to pick,
Yes.
even on a virtual interview. Remember, there's camera. The camera is on. You are not only seeing you are not only hearing them,
Yes.
but you are able to see them. Then the way the interview progresses as you ask several questions, it's a fair conversation. It's a fair engagement.
Yes.
You'll be able to pick most of the items. Yeah.
In most cases, after this person has gone through this, definitely there'll be a one-on-one at some point.
Yeah.
This person will not just start working for you virtually, or you just ignore that. Okay, you wanted to add
That's
something?
true. You know, we cannot ignore the fact that things have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, even people are working from home.
Yeah.
A lot of things have changed. So virtual has become a world that we've gotten into. But by the fact that they are on camera, there are things that you are still able to see and pick out.
Yes.
But more importantly, and I think now, even with a virtual interview, I think it's important to engage into deeper questions.
Yeah.
Because that reveals something that you might not be able to see, you know, via the body language.
Yes.
Yeah. So you get a bit deeper
Yes.
into that. I just needed to add something that I think is one of the pitfalls for employers.
Yes.
Sometimes employers get into those rooms. I don't know if it's an agenda, but they ask the wrong questions. Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to employ you as a cameraman, but then I start asking other questions that are not relatable. Yet, you can have a divide between the professional and personal life.
Yes.
You know, so sometimes you get too deep into getting to know this person's personal life. I think there are basics that you need to know,
Yes. Yes.
but let it also not get into finer details
Yes.
of other things that are not necessary. Yeah.
Beautiful. That brings the aspect of preparation.
Yeah.
Because preparation is key. Even as you come to sit, we are supposed to sit for our interviews, 3 of us. Then we need to prepare. What are you going to engage? Even as HR, you can guide the process.
Yeah.
Even ask for questions from the technical person, have the other questions that relate to that, other skills that are required, make sure they are provided so that we can guide that. So preparation is very key. Maybe as before we take a break, what are the pitfalls, other than what Anthony has said, that we need to avoid as employers?
The other one that I have seen very common is biasness. You already have you already have
Prejudice.
a prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a way you want the answers and the question answered.
Yes.
And people are different, and their experiences are different.
Yes.
So you, as an interviewer, you need to go in with an open mind and evaluate the candidates with an open mind.
Yes.
The other aspect is you've mentioned lack of preparation, but also there are times I have seen interviewers who are very intimidating and very, very, very intimidating to the candidate,
Yes.
and talking too much and not allowing the candidate to express themselves. Then you will get it wrong
Yes.
as the interviewer. Yeah.
There is also the other aspect of, yes, you have your scorecard,
Yes.
but you keep getting out of it.
Yes.
You get carried away, and that's when now it becomes personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about other things that are not necessary. And so you finish the interview and you realize there's a certain aspect you needed to ask the person. You needed to know how well they understand the organization. But because you are carried away by their appearance or how they talk, you lose out on that fact. And you end up not judging that. The other one, which I think it's employers really miss out, is follow-up. Yeah? You've had your interview, probably you need to do another interview
Yes.
as a follow-up to that, but you don't inform the people in good time for them to come, for the second interview, and so on. And many times you tell them, don't call us, we will call you.
Yes. We are the people to call and then we don't call.
Yeah. Or even don't send a regret.
Yes.
Or if they didn't pass. I think it's not fair.
You're right. And I think it is very important, especially when you have called someone for an interview. You've talked to them, you have engaged them. It is important for you to give feedback. I know we receive so many applications and we cannot give feedback to everyone. But as long as you called me for an interview, you engaged with me, you talked to me, it is important for you to give me feedback. Don't just keep quiet. Just maybe assume that as long as we don't communicate, you are not qualified. So that is very key for us as employers. So what you're saying is, as an employer, ensure you prepare for the interview. Ensure that you deal with these people well. Give them enough time. Don't just call them right now. Tell them by 3 you have to be here. Na usichelewe, ukichelewa si sign nzuri. So you have to ensure that this person gets time so that they also prepare, they also come, they're human. And the other thing that I want to mention as we get to a break is ensure you treat these people well. Don't keep people waiting for hours. When you book interviews, please treat it as a serious matter. It's a formal engagement. Treat it that way and let this person come on time. So thank you so much. We'll be getting to a break. Please don't go very far. We are here with you. Join us in a short while.